What a turn up at the Trafford. My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live right at the end of it all. 45 games down. We now finally have the semi-final lineup. India, as a result of Australia losing, now get to the top of the table and they will play New Zealand at Old Trafford, while Australia, who were hoping to stay on at in Manchester, will have to go and take on their Ashes rivals at Edgbaston on the 11th of July. And what it means is the points table looks like this. We'll have a look at it, but let me get a reaction from my two experts, Zaheer Khan, Robin Uthappa. You can shy away from everything you want to say, who you'd prefer to play, but Australia, like it or not, would have wanted to stay on in Manchester.
For sure,
so
it would have just been more ideal for them. I think just with preparation for the semi-finals and just with their, for instance, David Warner getting 100, he would definitely want to bat again on the same ground. So, for those reasons amongst others, I think they would have wanted to play at Manchester itself. For sure.
Of course, the first win since 1992 for South Africa over Australia. On this occasion, it was essentially a dead rubber for them, but they really brought their A game, didn't they?
Well, it feels like that within the tournament itself, that they've been struggling with form and certainly wanted to finish on a high. So I think from that point of view, they've achieved a lot. Faf getting that 100 also was very important. Emotions flowing out there as well. He wanted to communicate to everyone about how he wants to take more responsibility going forward in terms of making sure team is staying together, staying intact. So I think from that perspective, it was very important that South Africa finish on a high. There were couple of the guys who were moving on from the game from here, so that certainly added more inspiration to that group. It looked like a team today. You could see that the effort, the energy out there on the field, the want to win was there. That's something which really showed out there with their fielding effort as well. Yes, it was that there were few opportunities missed, but then you had the brilliance of Morris as well. Taking that brilliant catch to dismiss Warner at that stage, who was looking so strong. I think Warner and Carey was superb today. All in all, it was just a great game of cricket to watch, and a very well played cricket game, and very well fought by both the sides.
Yeah, that was the partnership. And how good is Alex Carey? A lot of people talk about Adam Gilchrist, perhaps resemblances to that, but even after David Warner departed, it just looked as if he had control. And I just get a feeling, the commentator said that as well, if only Khwaja could have come one step earlier and maybe got together with Carey.
That's why hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is.
but yeah, he had the conviction that he could take the team all the way, irrespective of who was coming in to bat with him or not. He definitely had that conviction, and the way he batted, and even the ball that he got out, he looked like he was looking to hit over extra covers, but the bat face just opened just a notch, just a little bit to take it to sweep a cover. But batting brilliantly, and someone, I think it'll be a new role. You see, like a wicketkeeper playing a role of a finisher. You don't necessarily see that too often. MS is the one who's done that, but other wicketkeepers who've been explosive, like Carey right now, is Adam Gilchrist and Romesh Kalvitarna.
All generally at the top of the order.
Generally at the top of the order. So that it's quite refreshing to see someone down at that middle order who can also finish games.
And of course, for Australia at the top of the order, not quite Rohit Sharma-esque yet, but David Warner has been having a great tournament.
Yeah, yes, he is right up there. He has been very consistent, and so is Finch. So Australian team also depends quite heavily on the kind of start which they've been getting in this tournament. That has really added to their success, barring first few games. When West Indies actually troubled them, they were out early. But this team had been put under pressure on few occasions in this tournament, and they have dealt with those scenarios and situations very well. Even today, they were almost out of the game, but Warner kept them in the game, and then got the support in Carey as well, which really got them to a situation where they could have actually won the match. Yeah. 5 overs, 52 runs to get, with a couple more wickets in hand, or a fit Khwaja also at that stage, which is one more batsman to have some support from, they actually could have put a lot of pressure on South Africa. I think South Africa held their nerves today beautifully. Even in that situation, they responded well. But all in all, I think Australia have been giving the glimpses of how old Australia used to play, or maybe it's just the World Cup aura which is helping them, stay in that zone. But they're showing that fight. And that is very important going in the semis. So now we have two teams which are coming off losses going in the semis, and you have two teams which are coming with wins.
That's right.
It'll be interesting, and yes, they would have liked to stay in Manchester itself. No one really wants to travel,
pack your bags,
pack your bags, travel again.
Yeah.
That one extra day of rest here would have certainly helped. But now they have to travel to Birmingham.
Also, they haven't played a single game in Birmingham in this World Cup.
They haven't. Yes.
So it'll be a new territory for them, new surface.
Yeah, it could work in New Zealand's favour in that.
England's favour.
England's favour in that sense. Oh yeah, we're doing the Ashes repeat. It's too late, guys. I'm sorry. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You got to excuse me for this.
Yes.
But I was thinking about David Warner, and and I think it's very poetic, this 100 for David Warner, simply because everything began for him, everything started going down for him at South Africa, against South Africa. And to see a David Warner of a different nature, like he seems like a different animal altogether compared to who he was 16, 18 months ago. And to see him get this 100 the way he got it, and the way he held the innings together, I think he's just come a full circle. That whole journey has come a full circle, and we probably will see we'll see a very different David Warner for the entirety of his career right now.
Yes, it should be a cracker actually, England versus Australia. Whichever way you look at it, Australia wouldn't have preferred that. They'll be going to Birmingham for the first time, and India will be going to familiar territory at Old Trafford to take on New Zealand. Why they're doing that? Here's a look at the points table one final time at the end of the league stage. The 4 Qs. India right on top there with 15 points, and Australia, thanks to that defeat to South Africa, stay on 14 and will be facing their Ashes rivals. India take on New Zealand at Old Trafford in a couple of days' time, and should be 2 cracking semi-finals. And just because they're 2 cracking semi-finals, we are going to have a full preview to those semi-finals, as well as a look back to the entire league stage. And this is where you can catch it. 5 o'clock on the 7th of July, the league stage review in English, and 7 p.m. in Hindi. 5 o'clock in English, 7 p.m. There it is, 7 p.m. in Hindi. That's it. A comprehensive coverage of looking back to the league stage and looking ahead to the 2 semi-finals. Well, I know it's late, but I think it was worth staying on to see exactly where India would be travelling.
That also in the match was pretty interesting, so made staying up worthwhile.
Yeah, and also I suppose, like with everyone, we should say happy birthday to MSD.
Oh yeah, I think we finished the match early, so we had to. It was good that we are staying back.
Yeah.
And there's some nice questions asked to Rohit as well about the birthday celebration. So we pretty much know how it's going to be. And tomorrow the social media, in fact the social media is already flooded with all the birthday wishes. So we wish MS a great birthday. It's coming at a good time before the big match, semi-finals. So the atmosphere will be nice tomorrow. Journey for the Indian team is pretty much set. They'll have a nice dessert to carry along to Manchester.
Yes, they certainly will. The only difference is the GPS setting will have to be changed from Birmingham to Manchester from Leeds. So let's just finish off with a wrap-up of the semi-final lineup. It's India taking on New Zealand at Old Trafford in Manchester, Australia versus England, Edgbaston, Birmingham on the 11th, and all finishes off in the grand finale at Lord's on the 14th of July. That's all we have on My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you for the wrap and, of course, come semi-final time.